Prominent leftist Shoe-on-Head has officially left the left. She made this tweet recognizing the fact that her party is evil. It's one of those tweets of all time. This is a woman tweet if I've ever seen one. Like, I've immediately diagnosed her gender based on this tweet. And honestly, politics is not anymore, hey, this is my financial opinion. Hey, this is my economic counter. It's not about finances or economics. It really is good versus evil. It's about they want us to die, and we would actually rather not die. So Shoe-on-Head drops this tweet officially leaving the left, even though she still supports the more socialist ideology. She doesn't actually support the whole, there is a bloodthirsty death cult on the left that's killing people and enjoying it. Now, people have been saying this for a long time. And people on the left, I think, have tried to turn a blind eye to it for a long time. In fact, this is something that Charlie Kirk said this year. This is what Charlie Kirk said. May he rest in peace.
My fear, Senator, and I hope I'm wrong, and let's say stay in prayer that I'm wrong, that someone is going to get shot the same way that Steve Scalise got shot, and God forbid, killed. The left is creating a pressure cooker with so many of their rank-and-file paramilitary troops that very well might result in one of us getting shot or killed. God forbid that happens. We're getting death threats every single day here on the Charlie Kirk Show.
Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. But I think this is a very real mentality that a lot of people on the right had, because a lot of people on the right absolutely felt this pressure. They felt this pressure cooker about to explode, and he called it. And he said it more than one time, and he was completely correct. Look, the amount of death threats I get, basically everyone that comments on these things get, it makes it clear that people want us dead. But the overwhelming amounts of support for the murder of an innocent man who was just speaking his opinion, I think really woke up the world. I was always on board with the idea that these people wanted us dead. I've lived it for a very long time. They tell you they want you dead. They tell you you're a Nazi, right? If they tell you you're a Nazi, they want you dead, because that's what you do to Nazis, right? It's, again, when they tell you what they are, believe them, you know? When Hamas says that they want to kill the Jews, it's because they want to kill the Jews, all right? It is. It is. When Antifa says that Christianity is fascism, well, yeah, they want to kill the Christians. You know, they do. I'm not going to lie. It's kind of what they want to do. They say it themselves. So, for a long time, people on the right have been saying that there's this violent insurgence of mentally ill freaks, over-medicated retards trying to kill us. And for a very long time, people turned a blind eye. And the normal people, the people with souls on the left, have recognized that, wow, that is actually completely and unequivocally accurate. So Shoe-on-Head just made a video. These people are sick. Talking about this horrifying situation that we're living in right now. And where, you know, someone was speaking his mind and they silenced him forever. So lock in, boys and girls. It's probably going to be a dark one. But Shoe-on-Head left the left because you cannot ally yourself with evil. Evil must be destroyed.
On September 10th, Charlie Kirk was giving a talk at Utah Valley University.
One nightmare.
And out of nowhere, he was shot dead, live, in front of a bunch of college kids, in front of his wife, and his 2 children. And I don't think the country is ever going to be the same. Not only...
True, it won't. This was a turning point for the USA, without a shadow of a doubt. And in fact, October 14th, which is Charlie Kirk's birthday, it was just passed, unanimously decided in Congress, it will be called Charlie Kirk Remembrance Day. Because realistically, bro is a legend. He was a legend, he fought for God, and he was killed because he fought for God.
Because of this horrific tragedy, but because of everything that followed. The dark, disturbing...
Because for so long, people have tried their absolute best to make believe, oh, actually, the violence was only perpetrated by one mentally ill guy. It's not like it's some sort of symbol of an entire movement. And that facade has crumbled. I've been saying forever, dude, the mentally ill guy the stage is set for the mentally ill guy. If Hassan Piker tells his audience of 1 million people, kill Rick Scott, yeah, the person, if, you know, God forbid, I don't want anything to happen to Rick Scott, but if something does happen to Rick Scott from a Hassan fan, yeah, it's going to be a mentally ill one. But there are thousands of mentally ill Hassan fans. I would argue all of them are mentally ill, but that's not really the purpose of this discussion.
That we may not be on the same page as our coworkers, classmates,
neighbors,
doctors. When it comes to the issue of murder, I was crashing out on...
Literally correct. Literally correct. They think it's justified. They think murder is justified because, again, they have, my opinion, they have no basis in morality. They don't understand. They don't have morals. They don't believe in God to give them guidance. They have zero morality, so therefore everything is subjective, whatever they want, whatever they think is right. And if you're living in a reality like that, these people will kill you and justify your death.
On Twitter a few days ago, just stream of consciousness posting about it with run-on sentences and everything. 4 days later, I have a clearer head, but I still feel the exact same way. So we are going to talk about what happened, we're going to talk about the aftermath, and then we're going to get a little personal, because frankly, I don't see the country the same anymore, and I know a lot of you feel the exact same way. So
I definitely do. This affected me super personally. It actually fucking shook me to my core. But I also, like, in the saddest of ways, kind of saw it coming, because I was on the same page as Charlie, that this is a violent group of people that want you dead, you know? It's like, dude, fucking, when you see, like, the Free Palestine protests, for example, and it kind of takes a turn from, you know, Free Palestine to from the river to the sea, we got to kill all the Jews. And it's like, yeah, well, you know, they're kind of telling you what they believe, right? Like, no, I can't turn her up. This is her video is really quiet.
We're going to talk about it after we talk about everything else. Charlie Kirk was not a healthcare CEO. He was not a powerful politician. And let me be 100%.
I mean, I don't think you should be killing politicians or healthcare CEOs, personally. I don't think that means terrorism is okay. However, like, the craziest part is, it makes no sense. It's crazy.
Clear, I'm not saying this to say that it's okay when those people are murdered. My point is that those are positions of power that most people cannot relate to. Like, the average person...
I mean, another point is, you know, presidents have been assassinated before. Like, it's something that exists in our realm of, I guess, normalcy, despite the fact that it's horrible, you know? Despite the fact that it's horrible, like, it exists, you know? When they almost assassinated Trump, yeah, it was a tragedy. It was horrifying. Thank God he lived. But, you know, we were like, yeah, presidents have been assassinated. You know, presidents have been assassinated. Lincoln, JFK, it's happened, you know? So, more than that. But it's happened. So it was within the realm of possibility. You know, it wasn't in the realm of possibility. Like, at least that we thought. A guy getting killed for having an opinion and talking to his college bros. Like, that was not something we ever thought would happen.
Is just so far removed from that world. But I think what happened to Charlie is hitting differently because, like I said on Twitter, he was just a fucking guy. He was a fucking podcaster.
True. He was not just a guy, but his opinions were moderate. He was a moderate guy. He was a guy with a family, with kids. Moderate fucking guy. I think it's a jealousy thing. It's honestly an indoctrination thing. It's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Be like Charlie Kirk, honestly. Build a family, build people, say what you think, speak for what's right. It's so fucking sad, man.
He was a guy who talked about politics. He was a guy who had conservative beliefs. Yeah. Not everyone knows.
And by the way, generic conservative beliefs. He was not radical at all. Again, not that it matters. You should not be killing radical conservatives either. You shouldn't, in fact, be killing anybody. You know, I think that's pretty fucking horrible in general. It's a pretty terrible thing.
A billionaire CEO or a powerful politician, but they do know somebody with conservative beliefs. They know somebody who holds some or many of Charlie Kirk's opinions. Because despite what people...
The majority of the country is more on Charlie Kirk's page. Like, dude, Trump won, and Charlie Kirk is it's still shocking he's gone. Still shocking he's gone, man. Charlie Kirk was the #1 conservative voice. In other words, it's the most generic voice that the most people were able to connect to.
In their little bubble believe. His core ideology and what he believed is the same shit like your conservative boomer uncle on Facebook posts.
True.
You can only disagree with this if you are unfamiliar with Charlie Kirk or you are...
a lot of people, you know, they saw clips out of context, so therefore they wanted to categorize him in a way. But as someone that's been watching Charlie Kirk for a while, okay, I've been really watching him for a long time. Like, it's really insane. I have multiple YouTube accounts, so I'm sure this isn't gonna show you anything. But like, if you actually look up like Charlie Kirk debates, like I've watched a lot of them. Like, dude, I just opened Charlie Kirk and I scrolled a bit. Like, dude, I've watched tons of these videos. All right, I haven't really watched like his news stuff, but I watched his debate stuff. Right? Look at this. Like, for years. Here's another one. Think I just watched these all right now? No, but like, you know, that's crazy. It's crazy he's gone.
Familiar with the many different branches and different ideologies of the right wing. Now, don't get me wrong, Charlie Kirk had many bad takes over the years. Like, for example, the 2 most popular quotes I see people posting are the one where he advocated for stoning gays
which is literally not true. He never said that.
And black women are too stupid to be pilots.
Which is also not true. He also never said that. Like, dude, they'll literally lie about him to justify his murder. Anyone that lies about him after his death is only doing it for one purpose, and it's because they support killing him. All right? They are not on your side. They are not to be unified with. They are evil. Fuck them. We cannot live in a society where 25% of the population wants us dead.
But guess what? Both those things, the two most popular quotes people are posting to justify this guy being murdered, are out of context. But idiots like Stephen King ran with it, then later had to apologize for spreading misinformation about it.
With all due respect, this tweet saying he advocated for stoning gays has 240,000 likes and 25 million views before he deleted it.
Stephen King ran with it, then later had to apologize for spreading misinformation about a dead man. These people will build a straw man of you in their minds. They get so fucking mad about it that they celebrate the real you.
Correct.
But
and it's not just one or two guys. It's like probably a quarter of the population. All right? It's not just one or two guys.
More importantly, even if everything was in context, who cares?
Agreed.
Oh, he said this. Oh, he said this. I don't care.
No, she's completely right. It doesn't matter. The reason why they do it is to justify murdering people. Is because of X and Y, they could somehow moralize the murder of innocent people.
There are many things he said that I disagree with. There are many things he said that I think are bad. Who cares? It is just a fact that nothing he said warranted his life being taken away.
True.
This is America. We have freedom of speech here. Unless you criticize a certain country, but for the most part, we have freedom of speech here. So
yes!
after detaining
The random Israel joke. We always appreciate it.
not just one wrong guy, but two wrong guys, the FBI finally got the shooter. Only because his own father turned him in. I guess they were just too fucking busy not releasing the Epstein files to catch a political assassin. It was this ass demon, Tyler Robinson, 22 years old, another irony-poisoned Reddit shooter who wrote a bunch of memes on the bullets, including "Hey fascist catch" and
"Notices bulges, capital OWO.
Dude, it's fucking crazy, man.
What's this question mark?"
I can read it here. A lot of people were saying that the shooter was a groiper, which is a far-right fan of the streamer Nick Fuentes, and I have no fucking idea where that came from. I'm gonna be so honest.
Oh, I know where it came from. It's so obvious where it came from. It came from people on the left that didn't want to acknowledge the fact that there's a terrorism problem in the United States. So they were like, all right, let's blame it on somebody else. Who could we blame it on? The Jews? No, we can't blame it on the Jews because, well, obviously, you know, Charlie Kirk loved the Jews. He was very pro-Israel. So obviously can't blame the Jews for Charlie Kirk. So who could you blame it on? Nick Fuentes is a streamer that hated him. Nick Fuentes has some clips where he said that we need to make his life hell. I guess we can blame it on his audience because he's a pretty popular guy. Like, I'll show you why. It's because they're able to literally use it to push an agenda. I'll show you why. All right, now there are all these side-by-sides that people are posting. All right, so this was Nick Fuentes in September.
We had our disagreements. Where we did agree is that he would go to these college campuses and proclaim.
Right, so this is what he said after he died. It was a really nice eulogy, honestly. And this is what he would say like a month ago. This is August. This is from a month ago.
Himself a Christian anymore. Sorry, you forfeited that.
Right, he's not allowed to call himself a Christian.
I do not want to hear, and you cannot allow Charlie Kirk to go to one more public event, one more question and answer, one more ask me anything, without being protested, without being shouted down, without being interrogated about this. This guy goes around from campus to campus in the most artificial and phony and fake way, talking about, oh, God made me very blessed that I control $500 million. Oh, I'm...
Anyway, so he says, make his life hell, harass him on campuses. You know, there are like these 4-minute clips where he's just like blasting him.
Someone like Charlie Kirk. And it just goes to show, by the way, Charlie Kirk, who a week ago said, I'm doing a focus group. I'm open to a contrary opinion on Israel and Palestine. He's now doing damage control on their behalf. And one has to wonder, is he being paid by Israel?
Right. So, you know, so this is him. He calls him a fascist, blah, blah, blah. To be clear, he's not telling anyone to kill him. He's not using dehumanizing rhetoric to kill him. But that's why they picked him. They picked him because he constantly blasted him. And realistically, that's why they picked him to frame him, because they would rather blame some random guy on the right than recognize the fact that there is a issue of domestic terrorism on the far left. That's why they picked him.
I have seen no actual proof of this. And it doesn't make sense because someone further right than Charlie Kirk wouldn't call Charlie Kirk a fascist, and they wouldn't say...
He actually did call him a fascist. But that's not the point. Not the point. His audience wouldn't call him a fascist. I think it's really important to point out his audience would never call him a fascist. His audience would call him a Jew. I'll be real. That is literally what they would call him. All right. This shooter said he was too hateful. Please, bro. He's not. According to Nick Fuentes' audience, he's not hateful enough. Please, dude. What are we talking about?
He was hateful. Their proof is that the shooter once dressed up like the Slav squat meme from 2012, and they also found a separate meme.
Bro, you want to see the craziest shit? So this is Ben Shapiro. All right, arch nemesis of Nick Fuentes because he's Jewish. That's just how it works. Nick Fuentes is a character, in case you're not familiar with the lore. This is him saying that there's no way it was a Nick Fuentes fan.
There was literally no evidence presented that he actually was of the right. None. And believe me, there were plenty of people on the far right who hated Charlie. I mean, the Groypers, as I've said before, literally declared a war on Charlie Kirk. They declared that he wasn't sufficiently...
The Groypers are the fan base of Nick Fuentes.
Radical. It's exactly what I told Bill Maher on Friday night. He said, well, how do we know it's not the Groypers? I said, theoretically, could it be? Because before all of the evidence had come out, theoretically, it's possible. Super unlikely. And you know what I cited as the evidence? The contemporaneous conversations that the shooter had with family calling Charlie Kirk hateful. Because my point was, if you're calling Charlie hateful, that is part of a left-wing matrix of thinking.
True.
The Groyper matrix is Charlie wasn't hateful enough. He should have been more hateful, more vile toward the Jews. If only he had been.
Exactly.
And they would have liked him.
Exactly. Yeah, so when Ben Shapiro, arch nemesis of Nick Fuentes, is like, this shit's retarded, yeah, it's obviously retarded.
Of Pepe the Frog dressed like the Slav squat meme. Therefore, the shooter is a Groyper. That is like seeing a photo of the shooter dressed like a clown, and then seeing this image of Pepe the Frog dressed like a clown, and then being like,
my
Groyper.
God.
What is the connection? The shooter didn't even post the Pepe image. Like, where did the Pepe even come from? Just a bunch of liberal boomers not understanding memes.
Oh, no. Wrong, shoe on head, wrong. Every single person in the media that pushed this bullshit knew. They knew for a fact it was a far left retard. We are past the good faith analysis. I love being good faith to people that aren't degenerate freaks that are running Defense for Terrorism. Sorry, not playing the game anymore. Not a thing. Over. Nope. They didn't believe it was a right-wing guy. They didn't think it was MAGA. They didn't think it was a Groyper. If you remember the moment this actually happened, the first thing MSNBC said, maybe it was a fan that accidentally shot off their gun in praise and accidentally killed him. They ran with the right-wing narrative the moment it happened, the second the gunfire rang out. Okay? These people never had any intention of good faith whatsoever. We are past that, okay? They didn't believe it. They didn't think it. It wasn't boomers. It was literally lies, literally propaganda, because they're evil and their lies are their only weapon. Sorry, that was just my opinion. I do appreciate when people are good faith, but I just can't be good faith to people that are supporting terrorism anymore.
The thing I saw was the shooter had Republican parents, and therefore the shooter must be Republican, which is just funny because we all see what these people say about their Republican parents every Thanksgiving. But I guess we'll see. It's September 14th when I am recording this, so maybe more things will come out. Editor Shu here, more things came out. Definitely not a Groyper.
Yeah. Update! They're retarded. Back to the past.
At the end of the day, he could have every single one of my or your opinions. It ultimately doesn't matter. One person may have pulled...
Yeah, the one thing I always say to people when they make this statement, like, I personally didn't agree with everything he said. You don't personally agree with anything that anyone says, okay? Everyone's different. Everyone has different brains. Everyone's wired differently. We all have slightly different opinions on different things. I don't expect my audience to agree with everything I say, all right? Listen, I don't expect that to be the case. We're all operating differently. The statement of, well, disclaimer, I didn't agree with everything he said, is a nothing burger, useless disclaimer, because no one agrees with everything about everybody else. No people are going to 100% agree. Obviously, you shouldn't fucking kill them for it.
Trigger. But then we saw the reaction of many.
We think that Charlie Kirk just got shot in the neck. Hey!
Thank God for freedom of speech. They all decided to expose themselves. Charlie fought for free speech, and free speech did them in.
Saying she deserved it, but I'm saying God's timing is always right.
Yo, they got Charlie Kirk, bro. I've never been happier.
I never believe the reason I'm smiling, and it has nothing to do with Charlie Kirk. Nothing to do with...
I would say pour one out for Kirky boy, but I don't waste good beer on little bitches.
Rest in peace, bozo!
Charlie Kirk just got put down like a fucking dog in Utah.
I do not.
Can you imagine living a life where this is the type of thing you do? Like, that's crazy. Yeah, no, every single one of these posts that goes viral, another bunch of leftists hate themselves and move to the right.
And I will not ever feel bad when bad people get what the fuck they deserve.
I just heard that someone shot Charlie Kirk. Thoughts and prayers.
Oh no, someone shot Charlie Kirk. Look, I don't know who needs to hear this today, but that's how you pick up a woman.
Homie dead. Fuck your homie dead.
Yeah, that dude was not into women.
Fuck your homie dead. He got shot in the head.
We got Charlie and not that.
I heard someone got shot today. I had a tummy ache this morning. Stay alive out there.
The sympathy for Charlie Kirk is weird. You don't have to like...
Bro, one thing in this picture is fucking weird. All right, and it's not the sympathy for Charlie Kirk.
Like violence, but
yeah, I don't know, man. Every single one of these TikToks, I'm moving a little closer to any transgender person needs to be in an asylum. Like, it's crazy. Like, man, I was like against the transgender concentration camps before, but now I don't know. I feel like things are changing. I feel like look at all these groypers. These are far-right Nick Fuentes fans. Look at all the far-right Nick Fuentes fans celebrating.
I'm confused as to how you thought the revolution was going to be magically bloodless.
I've been saying we
Yeah, they're all pretty open about, yes, we should fucking kill people that we don't like.
to bring back political assassinations. I don't feel bad, and I don't think that everyone deserves the right to free speech. I think some people should be afraid to express their
Yeah, get deported, bitch.
opinion in public.
I didn't like what he said, and I didn't like his opinions, and I don't really give a shit that he's dead.
With a cross in the background.
And
literally with a cross in the background. Cool.
I don't really give a shit that he's dead.
The best part
Holy shit, is this the rest of the shoe on head video?
of this whole goddamn thing is that he is not martyr material, so his death will mean nothing. It will activate no one. It will impact few. It's just great. There are
Yeah, these people are like really garbage. It's awesome. Like, again, I appreciate when people say their opinions out loud. When they say their opinions out loud, it's a good thing. Thank you. Operation Let Them Speak. They will all fucking regret it. Every single one of them. Again, I don't want any violence to happen to any of these people. But they want violence to happen to me.
A lot of people that are like, no matter what side of politics you're on, you should never celebrate something bad happening to someone. I, on the other hand, do cheer when bad things happen to bad people.
Charlie Kirk just got shot.
Again, we could sit here and debunk literally all of them separately because, like, their logic is unbelievably flawed. But the point is clear. The point is clear. These are morally degenerate, mentally ill, largely, lobotomized, propagandized retards, and I will never ally with them. Never, ever again.
I saw the video before they even put out the confirmation. There was no chance that he made it through that. This wasn't the one we were hoping for, but a welcome surprise nonetheless.
I'm surprised that y'all didn't get rid of him sooner. And I'm surprised that you guys aren't getting rid of more people. Like, don't stop with him. Don't let him be the end. Get rid of them all.
Yeah, these people are all actually public safety threats. Literally all of these people are public safety threats. Like, I would not feel comfortable even being next to these people. I don't know the solution here. I don't know if it's asylums. All right, I don't know if it's asylums. I don't know what it is, but I don't feel safe next to any of these people.
His wife deserves to go too. Y'all keep on talking about his wife and kids.
Okay.
They need to go too because they're carrying on that mentality and that lineage. Like, get rid of the whole family. I'm so sorry. Why did you guys stop with him?
So, like, why is a person like that not in jail? Like, again, there are laws for incitement to violence, you know?
Thousands of videos like that. Some of these people posting with their full names and faces, with hundreds and thousands of likes, thousands of tweets.
I think the FBI needs to go through not only all the people individually that posted stuff like this, they need to go through every single account that liked any of these messages. And every single one of those people, not just them, but the people that left the likes, all of them, it needs to be clear who they are, literally because it's not safe. My life is not safe around them. Like, this should be like a fucking sex offender list.
Celebrating it with 500,000 likes, and it's important to remember that all of those likes are a real person. Millions of people in this country,
well, some are probably Chinese bots trying to stir shit up, you know,
apparently believe the acceptable response to speech they don't like is murder. This wasn't just a bunch of fringe
communists,
blue hair
communists that are anti-God. It's pretty cool how they all fall into the same category. And you have to realize these are not they didn't kill him for, you know, fiscal policy. They didn't kill him because Trump was putting tariffs on people. All right, none of that. No. It's the trans Tifa people. It's explicitly the trans Tifa people. Like, it's the one that literally mutilates the body given to them by God in the image of God that they mutilate. Those are the ones that want you dead. Like, dude, what the hell is happening, man?
AWs or whatever. They were teachers, professors, doctors, HR workers, healthcare workers, nurses.
It was anyone.
Pediatricians, people who work with kids, people's classmates.
Yeah, like, dude, you want one of those people, like, teaching your children? Like, these are people saying that you should have got the rest of the family, too. The wife and the kids, because they carry on his lineage. You want someone like that teaching your children? Like, dude, it's not safe. This is an actual public safety hazard.
Mates, they are teachers showing our children the gory, horrifying video of Charlie's murder on repeat.
Yep.
The hippy-dippy in this house we believe shitlib mask was ripped off.
True. The tolerant left shit, it's over. It's over. The unity garbage, the discussion conversations, the let's debate, let's come together, move together, unity. Like, we've really passed all that. Like, we really have.
Was nothing but psychopathic bloodlust.
If you call yourself a leftist after this, after seeing that this is your compatriots, you are probably part of the problem. Not gonna lie.
I have seen people on the right celebrate the death of people they disagree with. I've seen it. I remember Heather Heyer in 2017. But I also remember the whole internet left and
I'm sure it does happen, to be clear. To be clear, I'm sure it does happen.
Right, coming together to disavow and mock the few dozen people from Stormfront who were celebrating her death. This is
honestly true. It is, like, even George Floyd, all right? He's my favorite example, because George Floyd was a scumbag. He was absolutely a scumbag. He robbed a pregnant woman at gunpoint. He died, according to the autopsy, of a fentanyl overdose while resisting arrest. All right? He was he was a career criminal. He was by no means a good guy. The reaction to his death was burning down the entire fucking country. They burnt down cities, they burnt down stores, they looted, they robbed, they vandalized. Okay? I saw people making fun of the situation. I did not see a single person saying it's good they killed him, they should kill more of them. I didn't see that at all. Not even once. Not once. Not even one time. No one justified his death. All right? No one said it's good. More people should die like this. No one said that. No one. So there's a big difference here.
It's different. It's never been like this before.
True.
It's never been this
It's because there's an obvious difference in ideology. There's a really, really obvious difference in ideology between people on the right and people on the left. And I'll even show it to you. Let me see if I can find the statistics. When I saw this, I freaked out because first of all, I think it's true. All right, this is going to be tough. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it. I showed it in a video. Can't find it. Anyway, I'll cite them. There was a recent statistics study done, okay? And it said that 24% of people on the far left think that political violence is justified. 24%. 3% of people on the far right say that political violence is justified. It's not just like a slight difference between the far left and the far right. The far left is an inherently violent movement. Communism is inherently violent. The whole anti-God shit is inherently violent. It's 3% on the right. It's 24% on the left. All right? This is not even a discussion to be had.
It's never been this brazen. Normal people have to log into like an alternate Twitter account where...
All right, someone in my chat just sent me a link. They say that this is the study. Let's see. Hold up. Let's pull that up. Okay. Yeah, there it is. Poll from YouGov. Agree that it's okay to be happy about the death of political figures they oppose. Very liberal, 24%. Very conservative, 3%. Agree violence can be justified to achieve political goals. Very liberal, 25%. Very conservative, 3%. This is not both sides. It's really not a both sides shit at all. Okay, this is a very big problem. A very big fucking problem.
They can post their more unorthodox opinions, and these people are out here full face, full name, like hell yeah, murder. What? The smug on...
I mean, I get a ton of fucking death threats all the time. Like, literally all the time.
confidence these people have to be openly sociopathic with their...
Again, I think it comes from an inherent lack of basic fundamental morality. People on the conservative side tend to follow Western values. Western values are rooted in biblical values. Whether you like it or not, whether you believe it or not, the West is literally an ideology built on the Bible. It is. All the founding fathers were Christian. You know, like, it's a biblical value system. According to biblical values, murder is bad. It's one of the 10 commandments. You don't do that shit. Ever. Okay? You know? Like, that's crazy. You don't have that on the left. The left is inherently anti-Western. Inherently anti-West. Anti-Bible, anti-God. And they do not follow the same moral code that we do.
Full name and face, because they live under the pathetic delusion of being on the right side of history, needs to end. They will blame you for your death because words are violence. Words are violence, so them killing you is just self-defense. That's why they're using Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yo! I literally made a tweet talking about this exact thing. They're so immoral. All right, I've come to this conclusion that it is an inherently evil ideology. They need to fucking fix their shit or literally get the fuck out. We got to figure something out because this is not survivable to live in a situation like this. If glorifying political violence is bad, why did y'all make Kyle Rittenhouse a celebrity? We wish he wasn't a celebrity. We wish he didn't ruin his life for participating in self-defense. So I made this tweet. When morality doesn't exist, forced hypocrisy is the only weapon. They can't condemn evil because they don't understand evil. Without morality, evil doesn't even exist. Comparing assassinating an innocent man in front of his children for having a conversation to a man defending his life is absolute cinema. How can you be pro-life but support the death penalty? How can you be against political violence but support self-defense? Why does it bother you if thousands of us are cheering on the murder of an innocent man when you were frustrated that BLM rioted, looted, and burnt down stores? How could you possibly support free speech if you don't want homicidal psychopaths teaching your children? How could you support Trump using nicknames for political opponents when you're against us calling you Nazis, fascists, and Hitler? This is insane. Like, that is literally the worldview that we're living in. That is the worldview that we're in. That's where we're at. That is exactly where we're at. They are so devoid and divorced from basic morality that they think this is a gotcha. They think it's a gotcha. They think murdering a guy for having a conversation if you didn't like him is as, if not more, justified than Kyle Rittenhouse acting in self-defense. That's how insane it is.
Kind of gotcha. Oh, if you don't condone political violence, why do you support Kyle Rittenhouse? They fundamentally don't see the difference between killing someone over speech and killing someone over self-defense, because
No, they actually do see the difference. They think that killing someone over speech is justified, and they think Kyle Rittenhouse is the bad guy. Oh, no. Oh, no, you misunderstand. That's how perverted their morality is. They support the guy that killed Charlie Kirk. They're against Kyle Rittenhouse for defending himself.
The same things to them. Also, I'm going to be the one to point it out because of course I am. I saw nobody else do it. Why are most of them women? True!
I love that she said no one else did it, but I did it. I literally did it. It's a feminist issue. It literally is a feminist issue. It's the feminist situation that fucking ushered in this entire generation of empathetic retards. I've said this the whole time. I'm glad Shoeonhead's doing it, but yeah, no, I've done this. I've been there.
The people celebrating are women. Like, it's a good, like, 80-20 ratio all over the internet. What is going on, ladies?
I'll be real. Feminism, it's obvious. It's really obvious, actually. It's because that men and women operate on different mental faculties. We have different ways to process things. We are biologically created differently, and we therefore process things differently. Women tend to be more emotional in their processing, tend to be more empathetic in their processing, and because this is an inherently toxic situation where the new wave of feminism is don't be happy, you should die alone, you should not have children. In fact, you should murder your own children through abortion if you can. They're going to try their absolute best to, turn these people alone. And, well, these are obviously empathetic people. Where do you target your empathy? Well, welcome to Marxism, guys, where you should have empathy towards the victims. The victims in society. Like the poor Muslims that are immigrating, or perhaps the black people that tend to be poorer than white people, and were slaves, or the gays that didn't have as many rights as straight people for so long. So that is where the Marxism and feminism clashes. So it is an inherently, in my opinion, feminist issue. Which, let's be real, it's the feminist voting that got us to this point. It is. It's the feminized voting. But you have to have empathy for the person that identifies as transgender. You need to have empathy towards this person. It is an inherently feminized issue, and that is why all of the colleges are feminists. That's why the men that are going into colleges come out of colleges like fucking paper mache, wet paper towels, and that's where we're at. That's literally where we're at. It's a sad life, but it's for whatever reason a feminized culture. Whatever. I have my theories and speculations, but that's for another day. But yeah, no, I do think it's majority women. Yeah, you're right.
Basically, the whole country is shook because last year they realized how many people would celebrate the murder of a president, and this year they...
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, feminism destroyed the West. Yeah, no, I agree. I said this the whole time. Yeah, not trying to be rude here, all right, because obviously this sounds like I hate women, which I don't. I have nothing but respect for women. I love women, especially one who's awesome and my favorite person in the world, and better than me in every way, and I have so much love in my heart, and honestly, nothing but respect for women. I do, however, recognize the fact that, yeah, I'm not saying women ruined the West. I am saying feminism ruined the West. There's a difference.
Realized how many people would celebrate the murder of them. At the end.
Everyone. Yeah, everyone. They would celebrate my death. They would celebrate anybody's death. Do you remember? I'm going to show you a clip, if I can find it, from Destiny. Leftist political streamer, obviously. Retard, extraordinaire. We love him. We love him for all that. Apparently, he was just demonetized on YouTube, according to someone in my chat. I don't actually care. But let me find you this Destiny thing. I'm not going to be able to find it, I think. It's too niche of a quote. I think it's too niche of a quote. Yeah. This isn't good. I'll tell you what he said, and then I'll try to find it. Essentially, Destiny, someone talked to Destiny about, people a Trump voter getting killed when they tried to assassinate Trump, and the Trump voter got killed. And he said, thank God it was a swing state, one less Trump voter. This is a 20-minute conversation of him basically saying that over and over.
Action now. Can you hear me?
That the guy who was one of the most divisive presidents in all of history got shot at? Fucking give me a break.
By a guy with a hammer and things. Just because that side...
in the Republican Party who are entirely un-American. Fuck them. Whatever happens, happens. I don't give a fuck. At this point, my only regret is that the guy didn't spend a night practicing first. It is insane how...
In other words, should have hit Trump.
Much conservatives get to set the fucking standard on all the conversation in this country. It's absolutely insane. We're supposed to jump up and feel sad that the guy who is one of the most divisive presidents in all of history got shot at? Fucking give me a break. Please give me a fucking break.
Okay, one person is dead who isn't Trump, right, who got shot out. Someone in the crowd that was just going to a rally who got murked by this guy. And two others are in critical condition. I think it's okay to show a little empathy. Don't you?
You're right. Hold on. I'm sorry. I didn't know somebody else died. What state was this in?
Pennsylvania. My state.
Swing state voter. Fuck you.
Yeah, so I think we've come to the conclusion. He's celebrating because it was a swing state voter that died. So yes, they will celebrate for your death too. They will celebrate for your death. They will celebrate everybody's death. They don't care. Literally doesn't matter. Insane. So yeah, that's where we're at.
At the end of the day, this is all the inevitable conclusion of the punch a Nazi thing from like 2017. Do you guys remember that? We always knew it was a slippery slope. That's why we were against it. And they always say this dumb shit like, if you don't want to be called a Nazi, stop being a Nazi.
Yeah,
even a congressman from
again, in my opinion, if you're calling someone a Nazi, you're inciting violence. You're inciting violence. It's the same as calling someone a pedophile or whatever. I think that it needs to be dealt with. It's not appropriate. It's not appropriate that we're living in a society where they could just brandish you in a way that they can kill you.
State, New York, was like, oh, if you want to stop being called a fascist, you should stop being a fascist. Yeah, that's great. Except you've called everyone and
they don't even know what fascism means 99% of the time.
A fascist and a Nazi for the past like 15 years. And I see a lot of progressives in my audience like, shoo, you're not like Charlie Kirk. You're not a fascist. Here.
It's fucking insane. Her own audience. I am proud to say, no one in my audience celebrated the murder of Charlie Kirk. Not one person that I saw. Holy shit.
Here are all the things I have been called Nazi, fascist, reactionary for over the last few years. Would you like to see? I have been making this list.
I love Shu on Head videos, man. She fucking she collects that shit. Oh my god. See, I was collecting death threats, but then I was getting too many, and then it was just kind of like sad, so I stopped collecting death threats.
Since 2023. Let's go. Let's just read this together real quick. Mocking / criticizing pop feminism. Believing adults can do whatever they want want, being pro-free speech, being liberal, talking to people I disagree with, being friends with people I disagree with, following people on Twitter I disagree with, supporting Bernie Sanders, that one came from the right, being registered independent, criticizing Joe Biden, criticizing the Democratic Party, not being attracted to feminine men, not hating men in general, criticizing Canada's MAID program.
Not hating men, Nazi.
Taking the COVID vaccine, criticizing the FBI, criticizing the CIA, believing the CIA killed JFK.
I mean, probably.
Using an American flag backdrop for my videos, saying elites, saying working class, saying based, making a joke about Joe Biden eating ice cream,
stop.
making a joke about Pete Buttigieg being born in a test tube, making jokes in general, being cis, being white, being a woman, being a cis white woman, telling someone to take a shower, not
Nazism.
being anti-gun,
Oh, that's
being
painful.
fat, being monogamous, liking Huey Long, celebrating the 4th of July, supporting Assange, criticizing the movie Cuties.
No way! Someone called her a fascist for criticizing cuties.
The movie Sound of Freedom, being against pedophilia, being against
Damn, hot take. By the way, that one is true for the record. No, I get the cutie angle. I'll explain to you what the that is. I've been on the internet way too long. For the record, I've been on the internet way too long. Have you ever heard of the MAP community? The minor attracted people community? It's basically pedophiles. It's a euphemism for pedophiles. Essentially, those people think that just like gay is a sexual orientation, pedophile is a sexual orientation. And just like we should be accepting of gay people, we should be accepting of pedophiles. That is an actual movement on the relative fringe of the left-wing community.
Of pedophilia, being against children watching porn, being critical of kink at Pride, being against children performing at drag shows, not being racist.
That's a good one.
Swear to God. Being a class reductionist, saying biological sex, mocking people for debating the ethics of necrophilia. My username.
I actually remember that one.
Owning a pet rabbit, questioning the Bush administration's involvement in 9/11, growing up in a perfect family, eating meat, wanting to get married, wanting to have children, being married, having children, being at January 6th to interview people, saying it's okay if someone doesn't want to date a porn star, not wanting to do OnlyFans, criticizing Kanye West,
How did that even happen?
late-stage capitalism, criticizing the billionaire class, criticizing Israel, criticizing eating the bugs, criticizing a fashion company for being creepy, you'll remember that one, supporting nuclear energy, parentheses, it's toxic masculinity, supporting TikTok.
Dude, this is insane. So yes, by the way, I think it's good that she's making this video because I've been called Nazis for basically all these things also. Well, not all of them, but for like a massive chunk of these things as well. Like, for example, Hassan Piker, largest leftist streamer, calls me a Nazi in front of his audience of thousands. Fuck, they want to kill me. They actually want to kill me.
Wives, supporting one-income households, supporting UBI, supporting farmers, supporting truckers, not celebrating October 7th, supporting
that's a big one. That's a big one, by the way. If you don't celebrate the murder of Jews, you might be a Nazi.
Not liking brutalism, saying colorblind anti-racism was good, wanting to date someone who has a good relationship with their parents, not liking food, saying men and women are different but complement each other, being followed by JD Vance on Twitter, saying
JD Vance follows her on Twitter. That's awesome.
Duff is cool, making fun of Reddit, and for Asmongold reacting to me, criticizing American imperialism, wearing a bow in my hair, liking VTubers.
Well, you might be a Nazi. I hate to be that guy. You might be a Nazi. You like VTubers, you actually might be a Nazi. Like, I was like memeing until here, but yeah, I think you're fascist.
And now, being anti-death.
Charlie Kirk was a fucking Nazi. He was a fucking Nazi. And you know what kind of Nazi is the best Nazi? A dead one.
I am a better person than you for celebrating the death of a Nazi. And actually, it's pretty weird that you're...
This is why the Nazi argument... That's why I think everyone that calls someone a Nazi should be treated the same way as someone that calls someone a pedophile. Like, I think that these people should get obliterated. I think it's a call for violence. I really do. It's insane.
Not, and simultaneously asking people to have empathy.
To be clear, no one's asking anyone for empathy. You're fucking moving goalposts. No one wants you to mourn. No one wants you to cry. The bare minimum is do not celebrate my death and want to kill me and my family. That is the bar.
Or the Nazi.
Nazis have children and families, right?
What?
But Nazis
So do illegal immigrants. You should deport all of them.
also get shot in the neck.
They don't kill you because you're a Nazi. They call you a Nazi so they can kill you.
Literally true.
Now, I'm going to talk about my personal feelings of the situation because I know a lot of you can relate. I know a lot of you have been feeling the exact same way. so I will try and put it into words for you. I have friends who were friends with Charlie Kirk, but I didn't personally know him. We follow each other on Twitter. I've been to the TPUSA Amerifest in 2021. I actually went there planning to make a video making fun of it, but I had so much fun and met so many friends that I'm still friends with to this day. So that video never happened.
Yeah, it turns out people on the right are normal humans.
I disagreed with him all the time. You can literally go to our Twitter interactions. I was always correcting him about, like, Bernie Sanders. I made an egg look like his face. It is safe to say I was no fan. But this has really shaken me in a way that I absolutely did not expect. These last few days after what happened, I kept going to every single, like, lefty, liberal, left-wing person I know and, like, checking out what they have been saying about this. And besides maybe, like, 4 or 5, every single one was being an unhinged psychopath about this.
Wow, dude. So I don't have a lot of, like, far-left friends. I really don't. I don't actually talk, like, to other YouTubers about politics, really, unless they're also political. But, like, the people in my actual life, every single person was destroyed. I don't have a single person in my actual personal life that wasn't actually obliterated over this. Not one. Literally not one. He got shot in the neck. The first thing I did was I opened up, like, my group chat with my brother and my cousin and some friends, like, just, like, a really close group of friends, and we were all just freaking out. We were all just, like, bated breath, you know? And it's like, you know, we saw the close-up clip, and we're like, yeah, no, I don't think he survives that. He literally needs a miracle, you know? And we were all, like, bated breath for 3 hours until, like, the news came out, and it just destroyed us. Actually hit us like a truck. Actually hit us like a truck. Insane. Or
saying some backhanded shit like, this is why we need gun control, which, first of all, we were just watching a whole bunch of people celebrate.
The gun control shit, like, every single person that tries to come up with anything other than there's an issue on the far left in our country, any single person that does that, in my opinion, is running defense for terrorism. And there's no other way to look at it. Because gun control is not forcing all of these people to celebrate the murder of an innocent man, okay? Also, it was a gun-free zone. There was gun control. Also, it's not like banning assault rifles is going to help, which is what Tim Waltz said. Yo, we need to ban assault weapons. This was a hunting rifle, a legal hunting rifle. Like, none of it would have even helped. You were diverting the conversation to something else. This didn't matter. What mattered is that there's a huge movement in America pushing people to murder whoever they call a Nazi.
Killing someone over political difference.
And whatever they called it. I made a tweet, right? Because everyone's freaking out about Antifa as being now called a terrorist organization. So everyone's been freaking out about that because if you're anti-Antifa, that means you're pro-fascism. So I made this tweet. Hey guys, I'm thinking of starting a movement called Kill the Hitlers, where I go out and kill Hitlers. Anyone that I don't like is considered a Hitler. Anyone that I disagree with is also considered a Hitler. What do you mean this is terrorism? Guess that makes you Hitler. And that's literally where we're at. That's where we're at.
You are never taking our guns now. That is not happening. I felt like I was in the...
Yeah, and now they want to take our guns after we know that there's 25% of the population that wants to murder us? Yeah, right, sure. Thank God that the people that want to kill us happen to be fat, ugly, unemployed, over-medicated, lazy women, right? Thank God for that. Thank God the people that don't want to kill us happen to be the people with guns that know how to use them.
Middle of the ocean. I was trying to, like, grasp onto a flotation device, checking all of these accounts for their take, like, be normal, be normal. Nothing. Nobody.
I definitely have, you know, let's say, distanced myself from people that I saw were obviously, you know, in my opinion, immoral shitbags. I absolutely did do that, you know, with online people. But every person in my personal life, in my IRL life, every single one was destroyed. Every single one. Like, this is the type of shit you end a friendship over. I'm not gonna lie. Like, celebrating the murder of an innocent man? Hello? Like, bro, I couldn't.
Drowning in a sea of evil, apparently. Maybe I was just blind up until now.
With all due respect, and I don't say this like in a bad way, because everyone's in an echo chamber. They don't understand the issues with their own argument, their own group. All right? They don't, a lot of people don't understand. I'll play this clip one more time.
My fear, Senator, and I hope I'm wrong, and let's stay in prayer that I'm wrong, that someone is going to get shot the same way that Steve Scalise got shot, and God forbid, killed. The left is creating a pressure cooker with so many of their rank and file paramilitary troops that very well might result in one of us getting shot or killed. God forbid that happens. We're getting death threats every single day here on the Charlie Kirk Show.
So that's one clip of him saying it.
Of the left, at the core of a liberal, is someone that would use the sword if they had it. They are very violent people at their core. They always have been. They can't debate. They can't have conversation. So they'll resort to these tactics. They're going to do everything they possibly can to try to murder this movement because they can't beat us. So they're going to try to take weapons. And no, we're very aware of that. I'm aware of it. We have to have full-time security. This is not a joke. This is who these people are.
That's another one. Here's another one.
Knock yourself out. But if you're going to force me to use pronouns that aren't true, teach my kids things that are materially or biologically false, then we have a serious problem. And so I guess it's the most important question, and you know it's coming. What is a woman?
I didn't see that coming. So I guess obviously we're going to disagree, like definitionally. A woman is somebody who identifies and performs with what society
I don't know. Is this the right clip? Did I pull off the wrong clip?
agrees with as a woman. And there's it's not a safe world for trans people.
It's not it's not a safe world for those of us that criticize trans people.
Yeah, this was the right clip.
That's where
I disagree with that too. I think everyone should be safe. I don't think that anybody should have any violence shown against them.
Yeah, I guess,
right? I categorically disagree with any violence shown against people. Like all I'm saying is that these people just want to exist.
Okay. And we will exist in reality. We are fine with live and let live. They want to say live and let us rule. You must use our pronouns. You must allow us into your locker room. You must allow us into your sporting competition. If not, you're a bigot and we're going to penalize you.
And he's right. And he's right. He's literally right. So there are tons of these clips, to be clear. All right. I just sent you 3 that I found literally off the top of my head right now. 3 that I just found immediately now off the top of my head, back to back to back. If you pay attention, you see it. If you're in an echo chamber, obviously you're going to miss it. If you're not looking for it, obviously you're going to miss it. I think that this kind of applies to everybody. I think people on the right notice the violence on the left a lot more than the people on the left. For example, just like I think that, black people notice a lot more racism against black people, just like I think Jewish people notice a lot more, and Jew hatred on the internet than other people. And I feel like it's like that for everybody. Everyone's obviously focused on the shit that gets sent your way. This was very obvious for a very, 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 very long time to anyone that was actually paying attention. So it's crazy.
Maybe they changed. Maybe I changed. Is everyone going crazy or am I going crazy?
Dude, I see Hassan Piker calling for violence on stream all the time. I see Destiny calling for violence on stream all the time. I see Vosh calling for violence on stream all the time. These are literally 3 of the biggest leftist streamers in the world. All right? You don't even need to go that far. I look at the politicians, right? We need to fight back against a fascist regime. What does that mean? How do you fight back against fascism? What does that mean? Dude, hello? hello?
No. All I know is it is clear how they reacted to this is how they would react to me, my family, my friends, you, your family, your friends that have ever stepped
That's the radicalizing awakening moment.
Out of line from the nebulous, ever-changing definition of
the Young Turks, incites, in my opinion, incites violence. That's where we're at, man. That's where we're at.
Progressive. These are people I thought were level-headed. They were left-wing, but they were one of the good ones. You can joke with them, they weren't those woke SJWs. They were cool. We can disagree and still be friends.
Damn.
Your friend wouldn't celebrate you being murdered, of course. But if they would celebrate an exact clone of you that wasn't you, that had all the same opinions, or some of the opinions that you have, if they would celebrate that clone being murdered, they're not your friend. I'm friends with people.
She's right. She's right. Thank God, going through this Charlie Kirk situation, which every single one of us did, I didn't have this situation where I had to have that realization, I didn't look at it from that perspective, to be honest. I didn't look at it from the perspective of, I'm a leftist. I have a soul though. And my friends would literally celebrate my death. I did not look at it from that perspective, but that hits hard. That hits hard, man. It really does. This was a crazy event, man. It fucking destroyed me.
Who are friends with Charlie, and I see how they are completely broken about this. Yeah. Seeing them like this, and then at the same time my other friends posting shit like, rip bozo. It's just sick. It's just sick shit. Personally, I would rather live in a world full of Charlie Kirks who would sit down and debate than a world full of people who agree with me but would murder people who don't. Because if it's now normalized to just murder people who disagree with you politically, we don't have a society. That's it.
True.
It's over. But some of these people...
Again, this is the ultimate anti-West mentality that's been seeping into our nations for so long. Look what it did to Europe. Europe is fucked. All right? Look at Canada. Canada's fucked. right? We are literally seeing a anti-Western ideology. Why do you think the far left and radical Islam are best friends, right? You would think that they are polar fucking opposites, right? You know, the far left, they're like, yeah, gays, transgenders, all that shit's awesome. Radical Islam is like, if you're gay, we will kill you. We will throw you off a building. You will die, all right? How are they besties? How are they besties? They unite against the common enemy, which is Western civilization. That's why radical Islam and the far left are besties. Like, you have to think about how insane it is when people would celebrate Charlie Kirk's death. They will celebrate Charlie Kirk's death because he was homophobic. But they go to Free Palestine protests where they literally execute gay people. Like, there is no actual relative understanding here. Unless it's a literal, I would say, come to Jesus moment, but it's the opposite of that. Where, you know, it's an alliance because they both hate the West.
In particular, like, why the f*** are you celebrating? You! They think you're a f***ing Nazi too. They'll make a nice compilation of all the hot takes you've had.
They'll pull you out of context and be like, yeah, you deserved it.
Spread it around to justify your...
I'll be real. If anyone dies and it's celebrated by these people, then that man was a hero. That man obviously fought the forces of evil so well, they celebrate when you disappear. He was such a knight in shining armor fighting for God that all of Satan's demons had to fucking cheer when you left the battlefield. It's such a chilling moment. It really is.
Murder. You don't get it, do you? We are all Charlie Kirk. I have been doing this for 11 years. I have been harassed, doxxed, threatened, whatever, you name it, for 11 years by the left. And it hasn't moved me an inch because that's not how politics works. That's lunch table politics. I've talked about this before. People on your side being mean to you doesn't mean you overnight change your opinions on, like, healthcare.
True.
It doesn't work that way.
Because ultimately you have your values and your opinions, and, you know, like, these things don't, like, that individual is a shitty person, right? That's the argument.
All my economic left.
I assumed she was a centrist. No, she's like, she's pretty much ideologically left. I mean, as far as I understand, I think she's not religious. I think she's agnostic. I think she, she's pro-abortion. She's pro-socialism, like socialized healthcare and all that stuff. So I would categorize her as a leftist, but a good person. She is, you know, probably center left and just a good human being. A good human being that has a husband, has a kid, you know? So, you know, that's what we're doing here, man. That's what we're dealing with.
Opinions. I'm for strong social safety nets, workers' rights, unions, wealth caps, whatever. That has not changed. This is not me leaving the left because, frankly, I don't even know how to do that. This is me and many, many people looking around us at our so-called allies and realizing that even though we might share some, like, political opinions, we fundamentally do not have the same values or morals. And are we...
Dude, it's crazy to think about this, yeah. Look, I am lucky, by God's grace, that I am in the position I am, and, you know, I do believe in God, I do have, like, a value system, and I do feel comfortably, you know, at home in a specific area politically with other people that share, you know, very similar value system to myself. If I was completely lost in the wilderness, I would be fucked, you know? Like, it's crazy.
Really allies if we agree on, like, taxes, but don't agree on the sanctity of human life. I don't know. The way we view death now is just crazy. And I feel like a lot of that has to do with the desensitization, in part, thanks to the internet. You used to have to go out of your way to see gore and stuff like that, and now you're just scrolling through Twitter, and you see someone set on fire, if someone gets stabbed on a train. And when someone, like...
Personally, I do think that, you know, that is part of it, that you see death more and gore more, just like scrolling Twitter. I think that's part of it. I don't think that's all of it. I think it's a distinct and obvious lack of a moral foundation. I think that these people do not have a basic moral foundation. Their morals are, do whatever you like, do whatever you love. Like, that's what we're dealing with, man. All right? That's what's happening. You know, it's like, oh, you like this? That's fine. Oh, you wanna identify as a chicken? You can identify as a chicken. There's no problem with that. Truth doesn't matter. Reality doesn't matter. Morality doesn't matter. None of that matters. You know, let the school raise you. The school knows better than your parents, and they will teach you about how important all of these bullshit is. So no, I don't think it's video games that's getting people violent. I don't think it's Twitter that's getting people violent. I think it's basically people that are living without a moral foundation, that don't understand good versus evil, that, you know, they don't understand. They don't even know that it's for their own good that they should get married and build a family and create something powerful and have a legacy and stuff like that. They don't even know for their own selfish reasons. They don't know that they should do that. You know? Like, on the one hand, I feel bad for them. On the other hand, they literally want to kill me.
Charlie dies. It's not even real to people anymore. Like, it's like a movie or show. Oh, that character died? Good. I hated that character. Like, no, that was a real human being with a family and kids, actually. Like, that was someone's son. The internet has turned real people into nothing but cartoon characters that disappear when you close an app. Maybe. I remember for years people would be like, oh, when you have kids, you'll change your mind on XYZ. And I was like, no, that's not gonna happen, no. And they were right. Almost overnight, you stop being so selfish, nihilistic.
You're living for someone else. Someone's more important than you now. There are things that are greater than yourself. And honestly, all right, this is gonna be like a random Nux thought philosophy fucking rabbit hole, and I'll just put it in a nutshell. Masculinity is inherently a giving force, and femininity is inherently more of an accepting force. Again, both good, both necessary, both powerful. That's, I think, just the reality of it. All right? Like, I mean, look at sex. The man gives, the woman receives. Again, like, literally, and it's kind of like that in every form of life. And in a hyper-feminized society, it's turning society ruthlessly selfish. Ruthlessly selfish. And that is inherently the issue here. Right? When you think of masculinity, you think of someone that would sacrifice himself for someone else, for the, you know, for his family, for his people. Right? They would give everything. They are a giving force. You know, that's like what you think of when you think of masculinity. And we are living in a hyper-feminized, selfish society that's just sitting there only willing to receive. And, you know, socialism is, I want the government to give me infinite money where I don't work for it at all. You know, it's a hyper aggressive level of selfishness. And that's where we're at.
You stop having utopian fantasies of wanting to live in a post-capitalist society, and all you want is for the world to be safe. For the world to be safe and normal. And all that matters is your family and your community, and then your country, and then the world, you know? Yeah. But we can't save the world, you can't. But you can save the people around you. You can't say to these people who are celebrating this and justifying this, you can't say, what if that was your dad or your brother getting killed for their opinions, because they've already cut those people off.
Largely true, largely thanks to the college system that is literally a brainwashing lobotomy network, partially. And also, get ready for this one. Let me see if I can find it. This is Destiny, one of the largest leftist political streamers in the world. Here's what he had to say about his parents.
How about your parents? If they get their brains blown out at a rally, would you have the same attitude? They are democracy-hating insurrectionists after all. One, you permaban for asking a stupid question, because the obvious answer, two, is, listen, they're adults. They make their own fucking decisions. If you want to support an insurrectionist president, then whatever comes of that is that's your consequences. Again, it's not a fucking joke. My mom is an immigrant to the United States of America. She was 5 years old. Her parents worked really hard to get her here. She served for 20 years in the Air Force, along with my dad. They know exactly what they're doing. They should know exactly what they're supporting. It was my mom that, you know, ranted at me for over a decade about how evil the USSR and Putin and all the Chi-Coms and all that shit. So whatever, you know, if they go to a rally and they, whatever the fuck, it's less end-of-life cost for me to deal with. It's on them. That's their decision. You think I'm going to fucking lose sleep over that? No. We all have our own paths to walk in life. We all have our own decisions.
So yeah, so literally, what do we do? Like, what do we do if that's part of society? You know what I'm saying? As someone who would be more than happy if his parents got blown out at a Trump rally. Like, literally, what's going on?
Already cut those people off out of their lives. And posting videos and pictures of Charlie's wife and young kids will not move these people at all. Because they hate their lives. They hate their families. They are atomized bug people. They are the unfortunate product of modern society. And I feel bad for them. I do. I pity them and I wish I could help them. But I have bugman fatigue. And for the people who will come at me in a blind...
Yeah, look, man. Yeah, I pray for them and I stay the fuck away from them because they want me dead. We have to live in reality too, man. Yeah, praying for you guys. Hope you actually do get married and you have a husband that can take care of you and shit and all that. but literally, please, until that happens, stay the fuck away from me. And actually stay out of public life in general if you can, because you literally want to kill me, and I don't actually love that.
Rage with a list of all...
Like, I made this joke before, but it's not a joke. I unironically, not even kidding, feel safer when I'm in Israel, which is a war-torn Middle Eastern country. I feel safer there than I do in the greatest country on earth, the United States of America. Like, does that make sense? Like, does that make sense? Holy shit, does that make sense?
Of Charlie Kirk's, like, biggest hits to convince me that I should hate him and should not mourn him. If you thought what Charlie Kirk said is wrong, you could have debated him. He was one of the few people left willing to do that, and now he's gone. Charlie was a fan of free speech, but I'm worried whoever comes after Charlie won't be. Like, even from a political standpoint, not even a personal human standpoint, why are you celebrating, like, the most popular college Gen Z political pundit dying? Like, why are you celebrating him becoming a martyr? Say goodbye to that young male vote. All the liberal Joe Rogans in the world are not fixing this.
Yeah, like from a completely pragmatic perspective, you killed your party. Also, from a human perspective, you are a demonstrably evil creature.
For the sake of this country, that political violence does not become normalized, does not become a thing. I really don't want to see that happen. I don't want to see retaliation. I don't want to see us fall into...
In fact, there's no retaliation. After Charlie Kirk was murdered, right-wing people came together to basically go to church and mourn for him and, you know, pray to God and stuff like that. And then those churches and those vigils were vandalized by left-wing people. You heard correctly. Charlie Kirk was killed, and there was leftist vandalism. There were bomb threats made by leftists. There were radical Islamists that tried to blow up cop cars and Fox News vans. Hope you're on the same page as us here. Hope we're, you know, absorbing reality the same way.
Civil war. I don't know. This has all been extremely blackpilling. I think I'm gonna take a break from politics. I don't know. I'm a YouTuber. Like, I'm not a political pundit, right? I'm not. My goal here, my purpose here is to entertain, is to make people laugh. That is what I'm going to do.
Yeah, fair enough.
That is what I will continue to do. The news cycle will move on. The world will move on. Charlie Kirk's kids won't move on.
True.
His daughter won't move on. His daughter does not have a dad anymore. And that fucking sucks. That sucks. I don't know what else to say. I love you guys. Thank you for listening to my crash out. If you're new here, my videos usually are not like this. They're actually nothing like this. They have music in the back.
They are very funny. If you haven't checked her out, you should. She's very funny. And honestly, she has a different perspective than I do on basically everything economically, a lot of things in general. But honestly, I like good people. I'm more than happy to talk to anybody. Again, my mentality is, if you're a good faith, good person, I'm more than happy to disagree with you. If you are a demonstrably evil demon that wants me dead, fuck you, your opinion is worthless, and so are your words. And that's where we're at in society.
Fun, they're goofy. Things are just not fun and goofy right now, but I promise you the next video will be. Yeah, thank you for your attention to this matter. Bye.
Yeah, of course, I'll link it in the description, obviously. It's just such a sad situation. Like, this has been, like, a really mask-off moment where you really get to see, like, the good versus evil. But, yeah, ultimately, Charlie Kirk was a man of courage. He was a man of faith. And we all have to pick up the microphone and do what we can to take his place. Because there's no one man, there's no one person that could take his place. We all have to take his place. We are Charlie Kirk. God is good. Like, subscribe, and this video was streamed live on kick.com/Nuxanor. See you there. Stay weird, fam.